Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to the Plug Talk Sports live show, episode 205, first week of November for us. Welcome to the brand new month. Welcome to the podcast. Myself, Danny Torres. We got Brandon. We got Blake coming up shortly, and we're missing a familiar face here tonight, Jonka. I know that he says he's sick. We all know what he's really sick about, and we're going to get into it later on in the show. But we're going to get into our first order of business, and it's the AP Top 25 poll. I'll read that to you guys. There was some switches there that I was a little, I wouldn't say confused, but I would say really. Number one is Ohio State. That stays the same. Honestly, 1 through 7 stays the same with Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, and Ole Miss. That stays the same. And then 8 through 14 all move up spots, with the biggest being at number 11, moving up 7 spots. Oklahoma as well as Texas at 13, moving up 7 spots. But you got BYU at 8, Texas Tech at 9, Notre Dame at 10, Oklahoma at 11, Virginia at 12, Texas at 13, Louisville at 14. Vanderbilt falls 6 spots to 15. Georgia Tech falls 8 spots to 16. We got Utah moving up 7 spots to 17. Miami falls 8 spots to 18. Mizzou at 19 doesn't move anywhere. USC at 20 moves up 3 spots. Michigan at 21 doesn't move anywhere. Memphis up 3 spots to 22. Tennessee down 9 spots to 23. Washington, who is previously not ranked, is at 24, and falling 8 spots to 25 is Cincinnati. As Blake joins us, we just went through the top 25, and my question, and again, we're going to get into the specifics of the game, but my question is, after the Miami Hurricanes lost to SMU, I did my own ranking, and I was right where I had Tennessee at 23, but I had Miami at 22. And they fall from 10 to 18. And I don't think that was far enough. I think they should have fallen to at least 22.
I look, I think personally, because I might be the only person sailing the ship for the ACC, there's not a lot of respect for the conference. There's not a lot of respect for the conference right now. And I think the funny thing about Miami's situation now, because again, dropping 10 spots to number 18 is insanity. But this also means they're now, according to AP poll, the 4th best team in their own conference with 2 losses. I don't believe that the Canes should have dropped 8 full spots because I think SMU is a much harder team than what they look. Obviously, the Canes probably should have gone out of their way and win that game on the road. They just didn't look prepared. Chris Paul didn't look prepared.
No.
But would I go out of my way and say that they're worse than Tennessee or Memphis? I wouldn't even push that. I'm glad that the Tennessee rust has finally settled through. That's not a playoff team there. But Miami at 18, horrible, but I think it's right where it needs to be.
Blake?
Yeah, they went until week at 9, right?
10.
They went at 10? 8's fair. I mean, let's be honest. The first ever article I wrote for you guys was a University of Miami article. It was what my outlook on this year was. And the 3 question was, is Carson Beck that guy? He's not. Is Cristobal going to figure out his play calling issues? He hasn't. Is the defense real? It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think it's just what you expect from Miami. And so I think Miami's probably somewhere, honestly, between 12 and 20 in the country and not number 3. Yeah, that's probably where they should be, around that area. 22, I feel like steep because 12 places. It's also tough for the AP voters because, you had Miami at 2, 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yep.
And now they're all the way at you said 19 or 18?
18.
18.
Yeah. So that one's a tough one for the voters. So it's not like it's Texas. It's not like it's not like Miami lost first game of the year, then barely won 2 other games. Like it's like Miami's been winning games when they win them, and then 2 really bad losses.
Brandon, I know you were high on Vandy, but Vandy falls 34-31 to Texas. How are you feeling about that?
I feel kind of weird about it, man. I'm not going to lie to you because I love Texas going into this year. And when I saw the game against Ohio State, I'm thinking, okay, close game. What do you expect out against 1 versus 2? Then the Florida game happened. I'm thinking Arch isn't really that guy going into the offseason. But now I'm seeing this team, especially for the Vanderbilt game, that's a game that they dissected throughout at home. I love what I saw from Texas, but Vanderbilt nearly coming back in the game still tells me that Diego Pavia, and this is a guarantee, will be a candidate for the Heisman, one of the Final Four finalists by New Year's Day. I still like Vandy. The way that they dropped, though, I'm not a big fan of dropping 6 away. Still in top 15, but man, I'm telling you as it is, why is Notre Dame still a top 10 school?
There is something with the committee and Notre Dame. They just love Notre Dame every year.
They love Notre Dame. I mean, I put Texas over Notre Dame as of right now. I would probably go out of my way and say that Oklahoma, especially Oklahoma beating out in a night game in Tennessee, I feel like they should be back in the top 10 over Texas Tech, in my opinion. And I understand it's an 8-1 Texas Tech formidable opponent. But Notre Dame in general, I really don't understand what are the big wins here. They've lost every big game to open up the year too.
Yep.
And it's just crazy because we talked about Miami previously. Miami, the total opposite, winning the big games they needed to, losing the small games. And now Notre Dame flips that script, and now they're a top 10 team. So I just don't understand that part from the Associated Press, and I get it. It's like voters from across the entire country. But makes it make sense. If Vanderbilt drops that far, and with a hard SEC schedule, and you only have Texas going up to 13, what is Notre Dame doing that they're not?
Do you think the voters know what to do with them because they're not in a conference?
I have no idea. Like if UConn ever went undefeated, I feel like UConn would be a top 5 school just because of the voting of no conference.
Heck, UMass would probably be a top 5 school.
Why isn't UMass ranked 17th in the country? I'll never know.
Never.
How do you think Michigan feels? Where, yes, they beat Purdue, not a relatively good team, but they still won, and they didn't get moved anywhere. Do you think that's fair?
They shouldn't even be top 25.
Yeah,
in my
I
opinion.
agree with that.
They shouldn't be top 25. And I get they have like one of the best recruited high school quarterbacks in their entire program's history, and there's an Underwood kid. But you're 7-2. You couldn't beat out, Southern Cal, who's Southern Cal right now. It's only 1 spot ranked above them, and that's them moving 3 spots compared to last week. So another thing with the committee where you have former champion programs where, and again, it's been like 2 years since the whole Michigan, controversial Steelgate, whatever you want to call it. But I still don't understand this, though. I mean, what exactly do we see out of Michigan? Maybe if they beat Ohio State, they push them to a top 15 team. This is a team that should never even crack top 15.
When we talk about SEC, you got Bama at 4, Georgia at 5. We look at the standings. Texas A&M's in first, then followed by Bama and Georgia. Are we going to get a Bama, Texas A&M SEC championship, or do you think we're going to get Crimson Tide and Bulldogs?
Hold the phone. You're missing a team.
Ole Miss?
Absolutely not. The Aggies of Texas A&M in the 12th man, it is their year. It is their year.
So you think they're going to win the SEC?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Right now, undefeated throughout, and we're talking about games like road games in FSU. Ship Brian Kelly backpacking over there to New England. And again, a Texas A&M team that's winning single-handedly. I know they haven't gone against like a top-tier Bama or a top-tier Georgia or whatnot. But Marcel Reed, He's one of the better quarterbacks right now in the SEC, if not in college football. I feel like that offense is just ticking under the good head coaching program. I like the Aggies. Now, the question is, again, who were they faced in the SEC championship? Georgia over Ole Miss earlier this year might be the deciding factor to put Georgia into the SEC championship game. I'm not saying that I don't believe in Ty Simpson. I just think that the SEC record alone would be interesting to look at the end of the conference play. I don't know if I have Alabama winning out throughout conference play.
Blake, you think it's going to be Ole Miss and Georgia in the SEC?
I really like Ole Miss. I really like Ole Miss.
Or Texas A&M, sorry.
No, I don't think A&M. Because here's the thing, right? In the SEC, I kind of view the SEC a lot like the NFL. It's just, you have to have experience on that on your teams here, because it's not like it's not like what the Pac-12 used to be, where it was a different winner every 2 years. But the SEC, it's program based. You get one or two the big recruits that hit, and then everyone comes, and then it's good coaching. So if I had to pick my SEC title game, I'd go Ole Miss Bama. And then I'd probably pick Bama to win. I think personally, Bama is the second best team in the country. So I expect them to make it to a national title game, but I could be wrong. You don't like that, Brandon?
I'm looking at Brandon's face, man.
Look, I see Indiana beat out teams pissed off. So Signetti would not like those comments at all. Would not like those comments.
That's fine. Small school.
Hey, I gotta believe in my boy Mendoza, so I can't go against him either. I think he should be a high candidate also.
Jesus Christ! Can I say something real quick for him? I hate that quarterback at Vanderbilt. I hate him.
You hate Diego? What?
I hate him.
I love him.
Dude's an excuse my language. Dude is an asshat.
Dude,
that's what I think of him.
That's all motion. He's just got motion.
No, it's not motion when you're going against who did he do the victory formation pregame, practicing his victory formation just to lose by like 14. Who was that against? Because when you're doing victory formation on the sideline and then you go get ran over, no, you're an asshat. I don't like him.
Would you say that's the same as? I mean, I'm just trying to compare it. Would you say it's the same thing as Yoshinobu Yamamoto practicing his pitches in the dugout?
No. You know what it's like? It's like if you were DB and you saw the wide receiver practicing his touchdown celebrations before the game. Like you look at him and you punch him in the face first play. Like
we know Jonka's watching. Blake, he's not happy with you.
He also thought it was the year for Miami, so who knows?
There we go.
So we know that the official committee rankings are coming up soon. Do you think anything is going to change in the top 10?
Honestly, I would probably push out of the way because we talked about these teams previously. Notre Dame. I think that with SEC play, and let's say there's a wild card ACC team, right? This case, maybe not the Canes. Maybe you have Virginia putting a name in a hat, right? I don't know if Texas Tech's going to win and go on to only have a one-loss season. I don't really believe so. Maybe Oklahoma or Virginia sweep it. Maybe Texas could be back in a top 8 spot by next 2 weeks. Who knows, Because the question, too, because I know you guys talked a lot about Ole Miss.
Yeah.
There's been a long, long history. And the reason why a lot of people think that Lane Kiffin would leave Ole Miss to go to a program like Florida or LSU, they don't have that championship pedigree of a program. They haven't won a championship since, I think, Confederate days or something. You know what I mean? They always find a way to lose late in the year, like how they had Jackson Dart lose to Florida last year. So I'm also expecting that, too, out of Lane Kiffin's program over there in Oxford. I love to see Ole Miss in the playoffs. I think everyone wants to see Ole Miss in the playoffs. But I don't know if that means that, and again, we're talking about the voting, the committee, because this isn't about rankings. This is about a specific record or anything like that. If the committee sees Texas knocking on that door, they will replace Ole Miss easily within a second. John Mateer's knocking on that door, a former Heisman finalist basically in the first 5 weeks of the season. They will knock that door and put him in over Ole Miss as well, even though Oklahoma did lose against Ole Miss earlier this year.
which
Blake,
is terrible.
before you give your input, what is it with Brandon and these crazy comments? Twin Towers, now Confederate days.
It's
Crazy.
true. What was the last time Ole Miss won a championship? They're called the Rebels.
There wasn't even college football in the Confederate days. It wasn't even college.
College football over. No, you're right. My bad. You're right. I nearly said over 200 years old. I was about to say it was a historical pastime for George Washington there. That's my bad.
Because I'm pretty sure Harvard won the first actual no, it was Princeton. I think won the first actual national championship in 1897 or something like that. It was one of those. It wasn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Twin Towers comment was crazy. That was my first podcast.
That was it was a good analogy.
I'm so
maybe not
happy
about the city of New York's big, especially not Mitchell Robinson is one of them. That was an issue.
Blake, and I'm so thankful that you came back to us after that comment. That's when I knew you were a real one.
Yeah, I knew this. I'd probably get canceled.
Who is this man?
Crazy.
Who is this man? Who is this person?
I don't know, but he gets the pun I was making though. Mitchell Robinson is the North Tower. Okay,
so
oh
terrible.
My God!
In the analogy.
Yeah, he's probably gonna get traded away. He'll be the first to fall, just like the tower. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
mind you, at 26 years old, loaded management at 26.
Blake, just continue.
NBA sucks, by the way. No,
just continue.
All right, so I'll be honest. I don't think the top 10 is that bad. It's really not at this point. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Miami should get into the top 10 at all. I think Miami could win out and they win every game by 30. They shouldn't be in the top 10. Forgive me. I've had a busy last couple weeks, as these guys know.
Yeah.
Where's Georgia? Did Georgia Tech win last week?
They actually lost last week.
They lost last week. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I said that early on. I said Georgia Tech scares the crap out of me as a UM fan because they looked really good. I like Georgia Tech more than Miami just because I know Miami's coaching. Yeah, I feel bad for Ole Miss because if it actually comes down to it and Texas is at 13 the week before and Texas goes and wins by 25, there's zero chance they keep Arch Manning out of the college football playoff. Zero chance. I think Ole Miss, let's say Ole Miss wins out and they finish with two losses, right? One or two.
Actually, one loss.
Yeah,
one loss. They got with one loss, top 10 stays even. Ole Miss is around that number 8, let's say. And then Texas comes in, maybe not. Let's say they're 12, and Texas comes in. They just win all their games out. I think it'd be a bigger robbery for Ole Miss to get knocked out of the top 10 than FSU getting taken out of the playoff. That FSU team shouldn't have been in the playoffs. So I don't know why people think that's a robbery, but
thank you.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Ole Miss since I was a kid. The baby blue's been awesome. I love the baby blue. I love their baseball jerseys, football jerseys. I don't care who's at the helm. I always like Ole Miss. So if they can get in the playoff, I'd be happy.
We're gonna talk about. We're finally gonna get into it. Jonka, I know you're listening. This is for you. SMU takes down Miami 26-20. They rush the field overtime. And I'm going to give you guys a very interesting thought here, comment, realistic stat. Mario Cristobal, when he got to Miami, complained that Manny Diaz pretty much left him with no talent. So Mario Cristobal goes and gets, high recruiting classes. Guys, Mario Cristobal.
Top 10 recruiting classes.
Mario Cristobal is now overall 14-14 in ACC play, and Manny Diaz has a better record with the Canes in ACC play than Mario Cristobal, and Mario Cristobal overwhelmingly has much better talent. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And he's getting
He's a
paid
bad
big
coach.
bucks.
He's a bad coach. He's one of the best recruiters in football. He's a bad coach. I don't think that's crazy to say. In my article I wrote for you guys, first ever article, I said this is one of the best recruiter of talent I've ever seen, especially in the front 5 in the O line and the front 7 on the defense. but Jesus Christ, this guy doesn't know how to coach a game. We've seen it time after time. It's hard to watch. I mean, you're up like even just the FSU game. You know, you're playing your biggest rival. You're at Doak Campbell. Like this is when you get to put that significant win in the midseason, not an early possible fluke against Notre Dame. This is when you can put a dagger in people and you go run up the score against FSU. Instead, you run the ball for 8 straight plays, and 2 of those drives you go 3-and-out. And FSU actually was able to get back into the game. They weren't going to win it, but they were able to get back into it. Like that's the stuff that this team, this head coach brings. It's pathetic. It sucks to watch. You see, the worst thing that could happen for Miami is getting a lead early because then they play awful. And our run game has zero innovation because I watched Mark Fletcher in person. He went to American Heritage High School. He's right down the road from where I live. This dude is an animal. Ask him to do anything, he can do it running the ball. How many times do you see halfback power a game? 12? 15 times a game? That's our only run play. We don't do any halfback misdirection, try to bounce outside. It's terrible. You're paying, how much are we paying? Not we, like it's a salary cap, but like how much did Carson Beck get paid to come here?
$4 million.
Look, $4 million. Why is he bad? Like why have we figured out this dude can do one thing? He looks like Ryan Tannehill. That's it. He's just Ryan Tannehill. He throws a pretty decent deep ball. That's it. I want to ask you guys about this question. Has Carson Beck done anything where you go like, yep, he's the guy. Yep, I know that's the guy now.
I've been saying no since the moment he went through Georgia, the moment that he transferred, and the moment he broke his arm. I mean, and also, Blake, that's a great take, too, as well, because I also do want to put out a big emphasis. We talk about the coach a lot. I mean, Carson Beck's comments in every single loss.
Yep.
It's like, it's not me. The guy's just running the route wrong. I don't know. Or, like, that's just a play that he calls. I'm just executing. We're not executing right. This is a guy that's gone 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 274 yards passing, QBR of 79, barely 80. Like, I even talked about this even previously. And again, this is maybe a little Florida bias, but this guy was Mr. Interception at Georgia. Big games came in. He wanted to go for yard in triple coverage, double. Didn't matter. He would try his best to force a ball in. And Canes fans opening up the year, oh, well, look at the drops. Look at the drops by the Bulldogs. Look at the drops. Guys are open. Carson finds the guy. There's a lot of drops. Is there? You look at the games that he's had, especially, again, against ACC play where you should expect a victory by a large margin. I mean, the Canes were more than a touchdown favorites, I think, going against this one in Dallas. SMU somehow took advantage of that, and it wasn't by the run game. The defense looked terrible. They had over 350 passing yards throughout this one, and the most sickening thing about it, this was, I mean, what? Fumble caused. I'm looking down on these stats right now. 1 rushing touchdown, 1 passing touchdown. This team barely scathed by Miami. Miami looked like it was just itching to get itself back in this game, a game which they should have controlled early on. And a big part of that, Carson Beck's fault, in my opinion. As much as we put blame on Cristobal, I put so much blame on the fact that the quarterback play, and I know if Jonko was here, Jonko would probably be saying the same thing that I'll be saying right now, until the Canes really, with a top 13, top 15 recruiting class every single year, until they get themselves a top 5 freshman quarterback to go around, like how the Gators did with DJ Lagway, obviously different story. But that's when I can really believe in the Canes. We're going to go on this rotation of, Derek King, Cam Ward, Carson Beck, and God knows if there's another transfer quarterback out there waiting on the trenches for this Canes team next year.
John Mateer might find another year somehow.
John Mateer on a 6th, 7th year. 6th, 7th, who knows?
But that's the problem. They're bringing in guys that have literally just 1 more year left. So it's like the same revolving door over and over again.
The same thing. And that's the Cristobal door. I think the only quarterback under a Cristobal run offense that I can think had like some sort of success was probably Justin Herbert. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. If you can name another one. Which one?
Multi-year success.
multi-year success. Justin
I was
Herbert.
going to say, because Cam Ward should have won the Heisman probably.
No, absolutely. And again, not denying Cam Ward's success under Cristobal. There's no doubt about that. But in the sense of pushing in a conference, Justin Herbert led a team to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, here's the thing is, for me, I don't think Cristobal's a good coach. If Cristobal was your head of scouting and talent recruitment, Jesus Christ, this would be the best program in the country by a mile. I think Miami, it's easy to say, has at least a top 3 O-line in football and a top 3. Ruben Bain might go number 1 still. He's been ghosted in the last 3 weeks. He still might go number 1. This dude knows how to recruit like no one else. Is actually the reverse problem. Dabo Swinney's not a bad coach. He just, since he doesn't take any transfers, no freshmen want to come there because they're not going to be good in 2 years. But Cristobal can get everyone there. He can get anyone he wants to go to Miami, and he's awful at coaching. We all should have known the moment we lost to Georgia Tech in his first year that this is what was going to happen. This type of football was going to happen. Because I don't – it's so annoying because, I don't get to sit in the film room with them, right? You don't get to sit in the film room with them. We don't have the all 22 and know the whole play sheet. I'm not saying I'm a better couch coach, but Jesus Christ, I would know on 3rd and 2, let's maybe not run a halfback power, right? Like, it's awful, man.
What baffles me is, which I mentioned this to Jonka, and I was like, wow, I mean, that could have happened. You had Mendoza, who's in the portal, leaving Cal, ends up in Indiana. He's a Miami native. He could have found his way to Miami. What made these people wake up one day, look at Carson Beck, and say, yeah, he's the guy?
Because he was at a big program. That's it.
That's about it.
If you're going to make your decision based off of just that, that's crazy.
Maybe maybe because he was with the Cavender twins at the time.
Yeah. Again, shout out to the girlfriend theory. For those who follow theories in the transfer portal, shout out to the girlfriend theory. It actually worked out. But
works out a lot.
Works out a lot in trans. If you ever want to know exactly where someone is going, no matter what sport is in college football, basketball, whatever, look where their partner is at. Guarantee you.
Ole Miss. I love Whit Weeks, by the way. I love him to death. When I was doing YouTube, I had a college football dynasty series. The first year the NCAA game came out, and my first ever transfer was Whit Weeks at linebacker.
Hell yeah!
So I fell in love with him.
Do you guys think that in overtime this defense from Miami just gave up on the game after the interception? Because SMU all afternoon was not able to run the ball, and then suddenly in overtime, SMU's just punching the ball down Miami's throat.
I mean, at that point, you just really need a field goal, right? Yeah. So, I mean, at that point, the defense has been bought out, has been beat. And as much as I talk about, them giving up over 350 passing yards to this Dallas team, or in other words, SMU team that's in Dallas, if I'm the defense, I'm pissed because, hell, 17 points. If I'm the Miami Hurricanes, I should be scoring 28, minimum. So, as a defensive player, maybe even the defensive coordinator, we saw two of them butting heads on the sideline. Yep. So, hell, they did their job as much as they could. They did their job getting the guys out of the end zone.
Guys, I got some breaking news here.
Okay.
The Cowboys still suck. They're down 17 to the Cardinals.
Well,
they're losing to Jacoby Brissett. Just some breaking news for you here. Sorry to break this live. I know it's awful. But, man,
again, more details on sideline tomorrow night, 8:30. Don't forget about that.
All I will say, Blake, is that I'm not surprised. You have the number one offense in the entire league, but the defense can't stop a fly that passes by it. So
that's true. Trust me, Dolphins didn't know what that was like 3 years ago.
Wait, hold up. I do want to say one thing because I feel like we're going to go to the next topic of discussion.
Yeah.
I want to discuss the Brian Kelly situation in Louisiana.
Good. He's
just a small, again, as a Florida SEC guy, because everyone knows I'm a big SEC fan. I just want to say how fun it is to be right about something so dear to my heart that when you fake a Louisiana accent and the entire state of Louisiana's governors and board decide to fire not only the head coach, but the athletic director, president, all that stuff, that tells you how much football matters when your 5-3 school is down the gutter right now. Brian Kelly should have never got that job. Look out for Brian Kelly at Penn State. I'll put that out there right now. But LSU football, the fact that Nussmeier even came back for the Tigers,
that's awful.
Horrible.
He killed his draft stock. He wasn't going to be a first-round pick, but he killed his ending draft stock. Daniel, can I ask Brendan one quick question before you get off college?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Everyone's saying Lane Kiffin's going to go to Florida most likely. I don't think so. I think your guys' next head coach is going to be James Franklin. Are you happy with James Franklin?
Oh, my God.
That's disgusting. What are we – James Franklin – look, there are specific coaches, and this is maybe just me doing a bias here. There are specific coaches that could migrate to different conferences and some that just can't. James Franklin, similar to Brian Kelly, because that was my Brian Kelly hot take many years ago. He can't go in the SEC and compete. James Franklin can't recruit those guys in the Southeast. All right? He wasn't able to recruit at Penn State, the top talent that was in his region. He wasn't able to go out of his way to get top 5, top 10 wins against a lot of schools in the Big Ten, let alone overall. Billy Napier had better success getting top 4 wins. And he got fired with an under 500 record as a Florida.
Yeah, when your best recruit of the 2020 class is Derek Wingo, and he's god-awful. I mean, you should get fired. Trust me, I played against him. The dude sucks.
Yes. So I'm telling you this right now. Lane Kiffin, the thing about Lane Kiffin.
I hope he doesn't go to Florida. I pray he doesn't go to Florida.
Here's the thing. Former FAUL head coach down there. Loves to live in Florida. Still talks about living in Florida. Loves Steve Spurrier. Said that the Florida Gators and the Gainesville campus alone has some sort of sentimental value to him and his family. It is one of those situations where there is always a picture of it. This is when you paint to the canvas. You want to be Steve Spurrier so bad, you got Steve Spurrier's job waiting for you right there. And hell, Steve Spurrier, who is still a big guy in this program, with his hand still in it, he can help Lane Kiffin. Why would Lane Kiffin say no to, hey, I can work with my role model, and I got a blank check behind me to back that up? Now, again, Ole Miss, obviously great program. Why do we want to leave a great program? Notre Dame and Brian Kelly was a hell of a program. And he went to LSU because LSU gave him a better opportunity to win a national championship.
Yeah.
So I think, and again, I'm not going to be like it's Florida or nothing, because obviously, and funny enough, the SEC, Auburn's a free job right now. LSU's a free job right now.
I'd love that Auburn job, by the way.
Auburn, I mean, with Hugh Freeze gone, and that's a huge job. James Franklin, I'd rather have James Franklin there than anywhere else in the SEC, just because I can see him in that orange. But I still don't think he should be in the SEC.
I can see him in that. I can see him in that Bayou blue and orange. That's what I can see.
I would say, because there's even reports James Franklin going to Virginia Tech, and I think he would love the ACC. I think he would love the ACC.
I could see that as well. I can see him like in the ACC. Yeah, but the James Franklin, the Florida thing. That's
all. I can't see that bald head on the sidelines like that, dude. I just can't.
Oh, just when it happens, I'm gonna be so happy.
With those glasses.
I've already predicted one thing that happened if we're going to the NFL next. So I'm already 1 for 1 with the prediction going there.
We are going there. And it is that after the 28-6 loss on Thursday Night Football for the Dolphins, the next day, the Dolphins decide to mutually part ways with Chris Grier. That's just to soften the blow. We all know in sports that man got fired and say, hey, man, we got to move on from you. Mike McDaniel today, he said something along the lines of, he's been working every day with Chris Grier, so emotionally it's going to take a toll on him. And now he's going to start, working on something different with somebody new for an interim GM. We all know that Mike McDaniel is staying for the remainder of the season, that Stephen Ross is high on Mike McDaniel and wants him to stay for the foreseeable future. We know that Jalen Phillips was traded today to the Philadelphia Eagles. We know that other Miami Dolphins are in rumors to be shipped out before the deadline. tomorrow. We have also heard that Tua might end this season on the bench and that the Dolphins could move on from him. There's a lot going on for the Miami Dolphins since that Thursday night loss.
Yeah, I'm telling you, what's the funny thing about it too with the Greer news? There's been so many things that have happened while he's been under helm for the last 9 years. We've had expansion teams in the NHL, Dwight Howard somehow winning a ring, retiring, playing in Taiwan, and then on top of that, hosting some sort of Takanashi Kiara hosted costume event at a Wawa.
Reality TV.
Reality TV.
Yep.
Dwight Howard went through 5 different arcs in his lore. All right, and that's a little NBA to you, but that also tells you enough. Chris Greer, during that entire time, not a single playoff win, barely a handful of playoff appearances for this Dolphins team, and every single guy picked up, whether that be Ben Ginkle, whether that be Christian Wilkins, never brought back. It was bad judgment he had throughout the majority of his career. He'll be known for the draft picks more than anything else. But again, long span. Why did this take so long? And I just feel bad because for Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa, who were brought in by Chris Greer, they don't really know life after Chris Greer. We, as Dolphin fans, and me and Blake personally, what does life look like after Chris Greer? We have no idea what's going to happen. No idea.
I think they read my article because they're already starting off exactly how I put it. I said you fire Greer, you keep McDaniel at least till the end of the year. You trade Jalen Phillips, try to get a third for him. You get the third for him. You wait till next year to trade Bradley Chubb if he keeps playing good, because then you can actually squeeze a first out of a team for a good pass rusher. I don't think he's worth a first, but if he's doing good in the pass rush, a team will have to give up a first for him. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very happy with my article now because it looks even better and better every day. I'll be honest. To fix the Dolphins is easy. There's certain guys you keep, certain guys you don't. Like sadly, you can't get off Tua this offseason. You'd have to wait till next offseason. You can't do it this year. The amount of money you would have tied up for until 2028, it's ungodly. Jalen Waddle has to stay. He's the only thing you got. He's the only thing that makes this team, probably not win a game. You get rid of Achane, right? A running back's most replaceable position in football. Ollie Gordon's also, I'm a fan of his. Looking at I'll be honest, I'm kind of pushing everything I said. I feel like I laid out exactly how you fix this team. Like, what you do is you try to get one more first for this year, or you don't even have to. You could wait till next year for Bradley Chubb, but this year you pick Francis Maui-Noah. The Dolphins are you reach maybe 3 or 4 picks early for him. That's fine. You need the O lineman, and then you go get the Alabama left guard in the second round. I had him up in the article. I had the article up. I accidentally closed it. But he's been a stud at Bama this year. And then guess what? You go from, man, we have no interior O-line to Austin Jackson moves to right guard where he plays his best. And now you have Patrick Paul, Francis Maui-Noah. Oh my God, I apologize for forgetting his name. He's been so good this year, by the way. You can go look it on Pro Football Focus. He's been awesome. Him at left guard, Aaron Brewer, Austin Jackson at right guard, and that's your O-line, and you already fixed your O-line problems for the next 4 years. It's that quick. It's not that hard to fix O-line. It's really not. And Chris Greer has done such a bad job at not having one good O-line in a decade. His best O-line is the year we had Jay Ajayi. And that O-line wasn't good. They just happened to know how to do really good trap blocks. That's it.
Yep. Yeah, but what I would also argue, though, because I more believe in you signing the guys for the O-line, because I think that two of the young O-line roster, there's not enough time for them. 2023, when you brought in all these different veteran guys in, when Colin Williams was under center, that's the type of O-line I want for the Dolphins moving forward.
Look at the best teams in football. Where are their O-line all from? They're all built in the draft. All of them are built in the draft. That's how you build a good O-line for 5-6 years. Like,
yeah, but kids go away.
Huh?
I mean, would Tua even be able to wait through that though?
We
'Cause
want
if
to get
that's
rid of
the
him
case-
anyway. That's the good
I
news.
think-
You don't want him.
Yeah, that is true. I would say so that because I did also see this, I believe, from Rappaport, that ideally, if you do a trade for Tua, you go to a team that's like on the bridge of like they need a quarterback. They need like that next guy up. And I'm just throwing a team out there. This doesn't mean that it is that team, but let's say like we got, I don't know, like let's say Brock Purdy doesn't work out and the 49ers really need some help, right? Let's say something like insane like that happens and Tua is taken away. There's some cap help with that. The contract, of course, Miami's going to pay a little bit about that, similar to the Jalen Phillips thing that we saw. I can see where you go through the O-line in the draft. And yes, a good O-line usually comes together in a draft. But when you got a quarterback that's looking to win now, which obviously the Dolphins are not in a win now mode, I just don't believe Tua's going to be there for that. I don't think Tua's going to be protected by that. I mean, Jonah's been having a hardest time integrating it into the NFL speed in the O-line. Patrick Paul slowly getting to his own right. I think Aaron Brewer is like, a dad in front of kids in the O-line right now. I don't feel any confident in the O-line currently for the Dolphins.
I'll be honest, I think Aaron Brewer is just middle of the road.
I don't know. I just think if you go, I like the idea of getting those guys, like you said, in the first round. They have a first rounder, second rounder, and in this case today, 2 third rounders. You got to build the defense. You have to build the defense. I feel like Devon Achane's got to stay. Waddle's got to stay. The rumors out in New York.
The thing is he going to stay?
Waddle would stay. That's his Giant fan rumors on X and Twitter.com. That's I don't know where the hell that broke up steam. Especially with an interim GM as we have right now for the Dolphins. That would be an insane move to even go for that.
I think he might get castrated if he does that move.
Yeah, he would.
Even if he gets a good return, I think because the fans just love Jalen Waddle that much right now.
Yeah, and again, without Tyreek, we're talking about what, 90-yard receiving, 100-plus receiving games out of him?
People forgot this guy's a wide receiver 1. They really did. This guy's so good. I think, here's the thing, for me personally.
I think it'd be stupid to let go of him.
Oh my
Yeah, I thought we just got.
Hey, Dallas is in the red zone, by the way. There you go. You guys might score. There you go.
There we go.
They did score. Nice. So what bothers me so much with the Dolphins, and this is even the Dolphins, this is what any organization is, there's luck that's involved, but building a good team isn't difficult. It's really not. Right? If you have 9 years to do it, like Chris Greer had, the Lions showed you how to do it. Their GM that's in now came in, they got rid of Matt Patricia, they built a good team in 2 years. In 3 years. You know what they did? They go, oh, okay. Well, what wins football games? Oh, a really good O-line wins football games. Okay, yeah, let's go draft O-lineman early in the draft. Oh, how do you counteract good O-lines? Oh, you have to have good pass rushers. Let's go sign one and then go draft Aiden Hutchinson number 1 because we've been a bad team. Or I'm like, sure, number 1, so it helps, but I'm like, it's not that difficult. The basis of a good team, like in soccer, you talk about the spine of a team, right, Daniel? You'll know this. 2 center backs, your midfielder and your striker. And yet, in football, the spine of your team are the front 5 guys on offense and the front 4 guys on defense. That's the spine of your team. My ESPN keeps going off. Dak better have thrown a damn touchdown.
He did.
Good. So he's on my fantasy team. So it's just. I go and look at Detroit, and I go, Detroit was the definition of poverty for my entire life.
Yeah.
Right? I've been alive for 22 years. They've been off. They had Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson. They couldn't make a good team, right?
Yep.
In 2 years, they have Dan Campbell. They have a competent GM going. They go, oh, well, we have 4 first-round picks in 3 years. Why don't we draft 3 O-linemen and a D lineman? And look at that. Now they're the best. They're the best O-line in football. They have one of the better pass rushes in football, and then that's where you fill in free agency. You get the guys that play skill late in the draft. You get the guys that you get like the safety on the free agent market that knows what he's doing, knows what he sees around the field. That's how you build a team. That's the correct way to build a team. Sure, you get the all-time greats like Troy Polamalu, who the Steelers draft, and he's there forever because he's a stud. But like the Dolphins getting Minkah Fitzpatrick and him playing free safety. What do you think? If you had a good D line and a good O line on this Dolphins team, Minkah would live. He would live free because he just gets to sit back in center field. Now he's playing box safety because we need someone that knows how to tackle with Jordan Brooks. I mean, Brandon, I'm going to be honest. I need to shut up because I'm going to start screaming. I might already.
Blake, I agree with you, and I think the key is a good offensive line. I have seen throughout my 27 years of life, I have seen some pretty good Dallas Cowboy teams. Obviously, have now won the Super Bowl, but have had
Super Bowl winning teams there.
I have seen dominant offensive lines that we have had, and we literally made DeMarco Murray look like a superstar. And it was basically because our O-line was literally like Moses.
DeMarco Murray's crazy. I haven't heard that name in forever.
It was literally our O-line parting the Red Sea like Moses.
Yeah.
This was basically
your guys' issue was, Tony Romo just wasn't performing that well when you needed it at times.
Yeah.
And, the whole catch thing happens. But, a lot of it came down to, at the end of the day, Tony Romo not getting drives when they really should have gotten drives. So that O-line held up very well even in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But, what the Cowboys were from, 20 – let's say 2008 to, 2013, where it was Tony Romo and a great O-line. That's what I feel like Detroit is. That O-line is so ridiculously good. Or
even Dak's rookie year with Zeke, the O-line was solid.
Yeah. I also think I think Zeke helped that a lot because because the year after that they started transitioning the O-line a bit.
Yes.
But that was Zeke before the body started hurting him after a second year. This guy, I mean, I'm not glad. The fact you guys didn't win a Super Bowl with that O-line just shows how bad of an organization you guys are.
I have to agree with you. I think O-line matters a ton.
It's awful. It's how hard it is to watch, because we all know Tua isn't mobile, and Brandon can attest to this. You know how hard it is to watch. My friends and I have a joke where I pick one Dolphins player basically every year, and I just hate them, right? I only say bad things about them. And for a while, it was one man named Jesse Davis.
Oh.
Jesse Davis is the reason Tua got the concussions in Miami in the first place.
Yeah.
If you go watch Tua's first concussion, it's because Jesse Davis just doesn't block it the defensive end, and he goes around, nails Tua. That's how this whole thing started. I really mean this. Jonas Savai, the rookie left guard, get him gone. He's terrible. He's awful. His whole thing was supposed to be he was a really good run blocker. He's not. He's supposed to learn how to be a pass blocker. He's bad at run blocking. Get him gone. Or teach him how to play center so you can get off Aaron Brewer and put two rookies in there or something like that. Because Aaron Brewer's not going to be around for another 4 years. Dude, it's terrible. Look what we're saying. Who was the last good first-round pick Chris Greer had? Because we can go over them right now. I can tell you who he should have taken. He takes Tua, should have been Herbert. Everyone wanted Herbert.
He could have picked Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, but I'm okay not picking Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is more system. But
and that was he was the first rounder.
Greg Rousseau was there.
Yeah,
Greg Rousseau was a better pass rusher.
And Greg Rousseau, in his first 3 years in the NFL, actually cracked Tua's ribs. I remember that too. So,
guys, I gotta take a lap.
Yeah, I'll take it from here. But I would say, just to piggyback as well from what Blake was just talking about, though, when you look at overall the selections, I mean, Jalen Phillips makes sense, but then there's injuries part of that. Yeah, Tua makes sense, but that's because the fan base was pushing that in 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Chris Greer, I think the top of the obvious, for me personally, the offseason stuff was really what buried him. How do you not bring back Van Ginkel? How do you not bring back Wilkins? How do you not bring back the 2023 old linemen? I don't care that Connor Williams left to Seattle or Hunt went to Carolina for $100 million. You try your best to bring those guys back.
I was like,
Hunt
getting $100 million was crazy.
Yeah, $100 million is a little insane. The Raiders had fun with that. But again,
my issue was
you could have brought back
Sealer. You had Wilkins, but you paid Sealer. What are you doing?
You paid Sealer. So on top of that, that's one of my top reasons. The draft is kind of my second reasons because there's a few picks where I'm like, that makes sense.
Javon Holland made sense.
Holland made sense. Waddle made sense. Tua, that's the fan base behind him too. I mean, that was just Tua energy in the city during that time period. Everyone knew about that. But the thing that got me, especially this season, the Kenneth Grant move, that got me. That and the Jonah move got me. Because you had, what was it, the guy out of Michigan, the cornerback that went to Arizona, that everyone was like kind of 50-50 on because of injury. I think it was last name was Campbell, something like that.
Wait, was it Arizona? I thought it was Georgia.
Like he went to Michigan, but then the Cardinals picked him up. Either way.
I don't know. At first, I don't know why Cam Letitia popped up in my head, but it's not
I don't know. I'm blanking on that one. But yeah, there was cornerbacks and great top lottery type of guys that were passed up, and Greer never looked at them. You needed a tight end trying to get rid of Jonnu Smith.
Mason Taylor sitting right there.
Taylor's sitting right there. Let alone Taylor. Warren for the Colts.
Warren.
Pick right before. Take him right there. You go out of your way and you figure out that the old alignment with Jonah, he wasn't even a guy that was a top 5, in my opinion, going into the draft class for offensive line or offensive tackle, rather. I believe this recent draft class, the Maryland Terrapins pickups, I think that really is what buried him. Because McDaniel talks about, the draft and we're trying to make a Maryland takeover. Where have those guys been? Where has Jordan Phillips been? Where's any of those draft class guys been? I mean, Kenneth Grant, mind you, I would probably say the best thing on the draft class has been Kenneth Grant, but that's also not saying a lot.
It's not because he hasn't played.
Barely.
Yeah. He's only really started playing the last 3 weeks. And that's because we gave up.
Basically. The Chop Robinson pick is also good. That's probably, honestly, because I know you said earlier the good first-round picks, Chop. I'm not going to deny Chop at all. That was
but at the time, it was Brad, I'm sure you can attest this. At the time, it was, why the heck are you picking him? Because we wanted to pay Jalen Phillips that offseason. He also got an offseason injury. That's why we didn't pay him.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm glad, and I know we're talking about the Greer stuff. I'm honestly glad that the Phillips trade happened how it did, not only because of the third-round stuff, but because this guy had gotten to the quarterback in clutch moments throughout this entire year, and one sack in these games would have given us 2 to 3 wins. Cannot get the Bryce Young. Got Justin Herbert twice on his hip.
He had Herbert in his arms. He had both arms around him.
Twice. And you don't finish it? That's not a guy I'm trying to pay. That's not a guy I see a future in.
He's also the worst run-stopping edge I've ever seen.
Ever. Oh, and you had him dropping back.
I don't know if that's Anthony Weaver. Exactly, too. I think this is the big issue. I think it's this one I'm putting on Mike McDaniel because he keeps trying to get 3-4 defensive coordinators. You have Bradley Chubb, who's supposed to be a good pass rusher and run-stopping edge. And then you have Jalen Phillips, who only rushes a passer. Why do we have a 3-4 where one of them needs a dropping coverage? Why?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Play what you have. If you have guys that fit a 4-3, play a 4-3. Or a 5-2 even. Screw it.
Which I'm also going to push this because I think this is also going to be a hot take. Because the Greer stuff, that should have happened eons ago. But for Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer really went out of his way and said, do what you can with this roster. Go ahead. We've seen Mike McDaniel with a good roster. We've seen him with a crap roster. I don't blame this season too much on Mike. I see Mike McDaniel on the sideline livid. And I want that as a head coach. And I want that as a head coach that builds a program in a college football sense. I want that for an organization like the Dolphins. All right. I don't blame Mike. I really don't blame too much on Mike McDaniel. The screen passes, horrible. God awful.
It's terrible.
But besides that, guys had back-to-back winning seasons, had playoff appearances, and then obviously the injuries that happened over the year.
Yeah.
But this season specifically, especially when we talk about the secondary and Chris Greer, as I quote Chris Greer, you guys are worried about more of O-line than we are. I blame that guy.
Dude, when that quote came out, I almost punched my monitor.
Insane quote.
Brandon, I want to get your take on this, on just the final topic. 2025 World Series. It was an amazing World Series. I think one of the best World Series I've seen in a couple
It's
of
one
years.
of the greatest Game 7s I've ever seen.
Yeah. Game 6 and Game 7, honestly. And Game 3 or Game 2, I believe, that went 18 innings. Yeah, it was Game 3. Absolutely insane. This 2025 World Series surpassed the NBA Finals in viewership. Why do you think that is?
Well, this is, and I love to put it as an American, this is another showcase of why America, and excuse my language, whoops that ass to the cousins up north. And honestly, it's true. I mean, the Blue Jays going throughout this entire postseason, I'm telling you, that was the team to beat. That was the best team in baseball. From the worst to the best, it's like one of the better stories, I think, in all sports right now, especially with Vladdy out there leading the charge for the Blue Jays. Definitely hard. I mean, again, love to see the American team win. The fact that a former Marlins captain puts the game in extra innings, basically. I mean, you can't ask anything better from a South Floridian American. You just can't ask for anything better. But, man, from Hernandez getting ran over in the outfield for the last out of the ninth to comeback solo homers to the Blue Jays nearly winning it all at home plate.
That much.
By that much.
By
that much. There's a lot of, and I think the cool thing about the MLB and like the NBA or like the NFL, in the last 10, 12 years, there has been more than double-digit different winners of the World Series. I think the Dodgers are the first one to go back-to-back in like nearly 20-some years.
Because the Astros did 2 and 3 years. The Dodgers did back-to-back, which is awesome.
Which I think it was the Yankees from 99 to 2002, I think.
Or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I love the diversity of that, and I think that is what builds viewership, specifically in the postseason. If we talk about regular season MLB, not a lot of souls at the games, let alone on the TV screens. But the viewership grew and grew and grew, and we've seen that every single October. So that's all MLB World Series, though.
I love playoff baseball. I think playoff baseball is the best atmosphere we have in American sports. And I love hockey. I've been to playoff hockey games. And trust me, I've watched the Panthers win 2 cups, and I've seen what that atmosphere in Edmonton's like. It's insane. Like, when you go watch these videos of playoff baseball, because everything means so much in baseball. When you get one run on the board, it feels like you're going to win because it's so much. And then the one thing I love about baseball is because it's the last game of the season, you let everything go in a Game 7. The Dodgers threw 4 starting pitchers in Game 7.
Yeah.
It's the only sport where, because in baseball, right, you'll have like 3 pitches a game. Like you hope a starter goes 6, hope you get a middle reliever giving you 2, maybe 1 inning, and then you get a closer. And once you get in the World Series, Yoshinobu Yamamoto threw 37 innings in the World Series. Madison Bumgarner, I don't know how much you guys watch baseball. I loved baseball because I was playing it so long, and I thought I was pretty good at it at one point. But Madison Bumgarner back in the day against the Royals threw 40 innings in a World Series. In 12 days, he threw 40 innings. And it'll happen to Clayton Kershaw retiring on a World Series. Because he probably should have more in his career. I mean, this man was the ace of a generation.
But can we just acknowledge?
I thought the Blue Jays were going to win it when Vladdy hit the double in the bottom of the 11th.
Can we just admire the fact that Yamamoto comes into the game, bases loaded with 1 out, and gets himself out of that?
Yeah. I thought Clement hit a homer. By the way, that was all barrel. He did not miss that ball at all. He just didn't have the muscle. Oh, that's terrible.
And I will say, I think even in Game 6, Dean makes a smart heads-up play to not touch that ball that got stuck under the wall. Yeah. He touches that ball, it's live. And that's
great mental awareness. That's awesome.
That's safe.
Dude, the Dodgers are going to kick them. I'm not the Dodgers, sorry. The Blue Jays are going to kick themselves because you had 2 games in your house. You were winning both of them going past the 7th inning.
They were 2 outs away.
2 outs away.
Which, by the way, I don't know why 0-1 to Miguel Rojas. at all setting up for an inside slider. Because if you go look up, it's set up for a front door slider. I don't know why we're giving it a front door slider to a 9-hole hitter, but hey, trust me, you'll never find a better playoff performer than a Marlins player that's no longer on the Marlins. That's all I know.
I will tell you, as a final thing, I think the Blue Jays' mistake, and I said it as soon as that change happened, I think that just might have screwed them. They made a big mistake on taking the rookie pitcher Yasavage out of the game. He was absolutely disgusting all World Series long, and the moment they took him out, going into that bottom of top of the ninth, I was like, I think they just made a mistake. He was pitching so well.
It's what happened to the Rays when they took out Snell.
Yep.
I mean, that was Blake Snell should have finished that game out.
I agree. But anyways, guys, that's all the time we have today on episode 205. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We got Sideline tomorrow night with Brandon. We'll have more, I'm sure, Dolphins talking around NFL and college football. So we're excited for that. Hope you guys have a great first week of November. And we'll see you guys next Monday for a brand new episode. Have a great night.